Welcome to Reading and Writing Between the Lines, a podcast series about communication skills in the workplace. I'm your host, John Witzman. Join me as I speak with industry professionals and Conestoga faculty and alumni to explore their journeys with reading and writing skills. Follow us as we talk about how communications learning has changed over the years, how these skills are used in a wide range of industries, and the future of workplace communications. My last question is sort of hoping we might come full circle and go back to the insights that you shared from the beginning of our conversation, where you talked about developing gradually that ability to pull information out of a text, to engage with your notes, and then sort of synthesize them in some kind of coherent way. That ability you accrued over time, do you think that is behind and sort of driving your current ability to connect with other people live and in the moment? Do you think that behind that ability to listen and speak clearly and is that being driven by all those all those reps?
I was at a spot in my life where everything was very difficult, right? Like not everything, but like reading and writing and those English courses that we started with, right? Yeah. It was difficult. I didn't like to even pick up a book and even, stay on track with the chapter summaries and stuff. Right. My goal this summer is to read the entire Witcher series. Okay. Yeah. And I've got through book one, almost through book one already. And for me back then as a child, no chance. Right. I would never have wanted to pick up a novel and start reading it, right? Yeah. Also, in where I am right now, I find, speaking very, very easy. Maybe not in large public settings. Sometimes that's quite, it makes me quite nervous. But,
sure, me too.
Yeah, of course, right? However, I find it very easy to do now. I think I'm a bit of a, what do you call it? Someone who's outward.
An extrovert?
Extrovert. Yeah. I'm a bit of an extrovert. So yeah, a lot of these things come easy for me. So there was this person way back in the day that struggled and had trouble. And there's someone I see now as myself who finds it very easy to read, very easy to write. Yeah. And I feel like, and I'm not, I feel like I write well. Yeah. Like I can write it. Like sometimes my wife would just pass me over a birthday card and say, can you write it up? Like you just write so much better.
That's a great example. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And at the moment I'm just like, oh my God, I'm trying to do this and this. Can you just write it? But it's like, she trusts me. She knows I can write well. And I feel like I can do a good job of that stuff. So there's something that happened in between. Yeah. So whether or not I can pinpoint an actual spot. Right.
I don't think you can. It's gradual, right?
Yeah. So there's this process that's happening, at least for me, in my profession, in my journey, from where we started to where I am right now, that something happened. Right. But I don't think it was up in front of me the entire time because the nature of my work is very practical. Right. So that's why I feel like when you're asking me a question and we've talked a bit about communication and we're expecting maybe some of that answer, it's more like, we do some FMS testing, man. We lift some weights and stuff. Yeah. It's just that's where my brain goes. Yeah. But the ability for me to acquire the knowledge and manipulate it and now have the opportunity and privilege to share this knowledge and inspire others from where I am right now, something happened and I'm really happy that it did. And I guess what I'd love to say to people is there is a process that can happen behind the scenes, or you can just open it up straight up and work at it. Right. For me, it happened a bit behind the scenes, but I think that what you guys are doing in the communications department and like with your courses and stuff is opening the book and letting them see those skills that they can actually just dive into. And whether you feel like you're going to, sometimes when you're trying to do another essay for that course, you're probably thinking, when the hell am I going to use this? Yeah. But at the end of the day is you do. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, it just happens. If you want to be successful, those things and those skills need to be molded. They need to be checked in on frequently. And it's almost like they're the abdominal muscles, the core muscles. The core muscles. Yeah. You know what? That's so funny you say that because like all the training and stuff we do, all the training sessions, I can remember a slide very clearly in my in my packet that I deliver to designing a training session. And if we were to say that reading, writing, communication, speaking, all of these skills are integral to success, the slide says, and we call that the core.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
I have a slide that says the core priority, where I say after the warm-up or integrated through a warm-up, we do core, right? We separate it into our, anyways, I'm not going to get into like the nitty-gritty of dividing the core up into its sections, but the core is a priority because it's the pillar that supports your extremities and your torso and stuff and gives you stability during your exercise. So let's call the exercises our work that we do essentially, right? Whether it's firefighter, police, a lawyer, a doctor, all those things. Those are the nice exercises you get to do during your session.
Right.
If you don't have a strong core, you don't have that, and you don't treat it as a priority, because let's be honest, what happens when you do a hard leg section and you've got 2 exercises, 6 sets of core to do at the end? Not happening. Right. You're out. So that's why it's a core priority, is to do it right at the front, so it gets done. It gives the rest of your body that stability it needs to do what it needs to do, or give you your career the stability it needs to flourish, essentially, those reading and writing and skills that are so integral.
I think we've cracked it. I think we found the perfect analogy. And that marks the end of another episode of Reading and Writing Between the Lines, a podcast hosted by me, John Witzman, on behalf of the Communications Department and School of Interdisciplinary Studies at Conestoga College. You can find other episodes of this series on our YouTube channel, Reading and Writing Between the Lines. Stay tuned for more episodes. Thanks for listening.